Hello, everybody. Do you see this little bubbling ball of energy? Welcome to Deep in the Details. So we're going to get ready to give you information about the world's best fitness coach. The best fitness coach on this side of heaven. You can't tell me anything differently. We are excited to be here. And I'm pretty sure you're probably like, who are these people? Well, here's what we need you to do. Bring in some folks. Bring them in. Grab your phone, grab your iPad, do what I'm doing. You want to go to Dee's page. You want to make sure that you are sharing this. So grab your phone. I know you all hear me. Share this live. See what I'm doing? I'm sharing the live. You hear that? I'm sharing the live. That's what you need to do. So share the live, because we need you to join in, because we've got some great information to tell you about. And we want to introduce you to an amazing person in the fitness arena, an amazing person personally, a professional, someone who has the experience and the know-how. She is not one of those instant folks who you've been seeing around here. And no knock to them, no shade, but she knows what she's doing. She's standing on business, 10 toes down, and been doing it for a long time. Wouldn't you all agree?
Absolutely.
And you know, this is always a great opportunity to see people come together to support each other and to support someone who is pouring into our lives. And if you don't know who we are, we're going to tell you that. So just bring your friends in, I'm about to share again, share on my other pages.
I'm in on live.
Share.
There's some fireworks.
So we want to share. We want to tell everybody about Dee, because I'm telling you all, when you meet her, you'll never forget her. I can tell you my own personal story. I met Dee 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And y'all, she still looks exactly the same.
Yes.
Still the same.
Absolutely.
Still same spirit. Dr. Rona has known her for a very long time as well, just like me. We've come from all over the city to support Dee. So let's get deep into the details. Y'all get it? Deep into the details. We're 2 minutes in, and if you are watching this live, you'll know because you got that red live button up at the top of your screen. If you join us later, that's great too. Make sure you share, tag some folks, tell them about Deep in the Details. This is our first episode.
Yes,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Our first episode. So,
hey.
what we're going to do before we start with the introduction of the lady of the hour, we're going to just get to know your panelists. So I've been doing all this talking. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to toss it over to you, Kirsten. Tell the audience who you are and tell us something that you enjoy or you've learned from working with Dee.
Hi, good morning. I'm Kirsten, and I met Dee 3.5 years ago when I was trying to figure out my health journey, and she was training somebody outside, and I saw her and I stopped and talked to her, and I cannot begin to tell you how much she has changed my life, and I'm eternally grateful. She is one of the most positive people you will ever meet, and I am so blessed to have her in my life. Thank you.
All right, Dr. G.
Hello, I'm Criselda Thomas, and I also met Dee doing my COVID walks. So it's been about 3.5 years now. And like Kirsten, Dee is one of the most positive people you will ever meet. She's always smiling. What you see, you know, on social media is true. You can't walk in the door with no negative attitude with Dee. And what I've learned from her is consistency really works. It really, really works. I work with her twice a week, and oh my God, I'm feeling it.
And you look good too, girl.
Yes, down an entire size. And so I too, I'm so grateful, and it is my intentions to have her in my life and for the rest of my life.
Good.
Awesome.
Dr. Rona?
Good morning, all. I met Dee. It's been over 15 years, I'm sure, or might be right after. I was in the gym doing my thing, and this ball of fire rolled up and said, "You got some energy." redirect this. And I'm going to show you how you can take this to another level. Because you look like you yearning for something. And I said, yes, I have goals. And she started writing things down. Okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. And I have not stopped since. I go wherever she goes. And she is so motivating. And what's so unique about this firecracker is that she tailors it towards your level of energy.
Yes.
If you're up here, she's going to be way up here. If you're down here, she's going to go down there and she's going to take you up there. So whatever level you are, she's going to allow you to graduate. And it has just been awesome. So she doesn't know I'll be with her for the rest of my life, too.
Well, I met Dee 20 years ago, and I remember because I was in my 20s. And now I'm in my 40s. And Dee changed my life. And then, of course, life happens and jobs. I had a different job and different hours. And Dee moved to another location. And then the light bulb went off, of course, some years later. And I said, you know, I want to make a change. I saw Dee on a reel. I know you all see her reels. And you're looking at her and you're probably like, oh, my gosh, check this out. I saw her on a reel. And it was literally like God said, it's time for you to stop wasting time. Your health is your wealth, and you need to get with someone who you know is going to give you what you need. Because be mindful, in that time where I wasn't with her, I tried different people, different programs, tried what everybody tries to do and go on Instagram and Facebook and look at different people. But I said, you know what? Not only do I need an actual person who's going to hold me accountable, but guess what else I need? I need an actual person whose spirit aligns with mine and who's going to keep me motivated. And because of that, I have, of course, come back and I'm working with Dee and I'm loving it. And the other day, someone who hadn't seen me in a while said, girl, you look good. And it was a big deal because that person is big in the fitness arena. And so when someone is big in an area and they can see it, you say, you know what, it's working. And even when you're in that space where you hit that plateau, Dee's like, I got you. We're going to keep going and keep moving and keep working. And that's why we are here today to introduce you to Deandera Washington. She is the person who's deep in the details. So let's get deep in the details. So here's a couple of things. I'm going to read off a little bit about her, but we're going to let her say a lot more about who she is. But she embodies the essence of energy, motivation, and passion. We've all said that. I'm pretty sure. And be mindful, we're not being paid to say this. This is truly from the heart. This is someone we support and we love. But it's important for you to know that she's a health and wellness fitness coach. She's a professional. She's not new to this. She's true to this, y'all. And when I say true to this, she's been doing this for over 20 years. 20 years of motivating people, 20 years of being an advisor, a consultant. And she's got the body to prove it. And we are the results of her hard work and the effort that she puts into us. So like Dr. G said, she said she's down a whole size. And that's amazing. And it's about more than just how you look. It's about how you feel. And part of why we feel so great is because of you. So tell the audience, I gave the little formal introduction, but let's get to know you, Dee, because we got some questions. If you all have questions, send your questions in. We're going to try to get to some of the questions. We may not be able to get to all, because be mindful, we're going to be back next month. But Dee, tell us about you. Let's get deep in the details.
So first of all, good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for getting up and giving us your time, because that's one thing that's precious, is your time. Thank you guys for throwing up the hearts. Thank you so much for just joining in with us. And yes, I am Deandera Washington. Everybody calls me Dee. And I have been, I've gotten so many questions. I was like, okay, I have got to go talk to the people and let them know, this is the person that you are seeing. I'm not going to go all the way into the details because I know you guys have questions. And I don't want to answer your questions before you give them to me. So, yes. I've been doing this fitness for over half my life. I want to say all of my life, because my first thing was turning on that TV and seeing the aerobics instructors on ESPN. They used to come on back in the day, and I used to mimic them. I would count like they count. I would dress like they dress. I tried to dress like they dress. And I would do it just like they did it. So I was taught at an early age, probably maybe 6 or 7, and I was just standing in front of the TV doing aerobics classes, not knowing that one day that would blossom into a beautiful career of helping to change people's lives. But those instructors back then changed my life. So that was my first learning experience. And then it just went from there, from beauty pageants to running track, to doing my first road race in the first grade. So I ran the mile, and then it just blossomed into running track and weight training at 15 years old. And it just goes, the history goes way, way, way back. So what I would do now is to say that in my 23 years, next year will be, I think, 24 years of actually working with people. I've worked with children, I've worked with men, I've worked with, of course, women. I've worked with seniors. I've worked with, so many different people. I've trained competitors. I've been a competitor. And the list goes on. And so what I want to do now is, so you can learn more about me, I want to just open up the panel. So these my beautiful ladies here, my beautiful clients. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. It's touching, so I'm gonna try not to get emotional. But they have questions for me, and if you guys have questions, please chime in. Anything that you would like to ask me, anything about health and health and fitness, and we'll go from there.
All right, so Kirsten, you go first. We're gonna just go around.
Wonderful.
What's your question for Dee?
So one of the things, Dee, that has always struck me is this amazing glow that you have. You seem to have found the fountain of youth. What's your secret?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I know one year, this was years ago, I had one of my clients ask me, she says, Dee, do you ever stress? And I was like, if I do, you'll never see it. Because I always want to display positivity around people. And no, I try not to stress because I have faith. I have faith in God that everything is going to be all right. And so I do believe that adds to my youthfulness. And also, of course, me taking care of myself. Of course, I had to learn nutrition over the years because I knew what diets were, but I didn't. I had to learn what healthy eating was. And I know that contributes to my youthfulness. And also my exercise. I'm very consistent in taking care of my body through exercise. And so I do think that's why I have the youthful appearance, because I take care of my body. I do try not to stress. I try to maintain my faith in God. And I always display positivity. And I try to, just always exude that. I always have people around me that are positive. And even when my friends are going through those times, I try to, no matter what I might be going through, I set that to the side, and I do think that's what adds to that.
It's a great answer. Yep.
All right, so Dr. G, what's your question for Dee?
Yes, Dee, you are so amazingly creative, confident, and professional on stage and in front of the camera, which in my opinion, is that it factor. When did you know you were blessed with the it factor?
Oh my gosh. Wow. See, I didn't know these questions before. I think, when I just go back to when I was a little girl, when I would get my hair done, it was over with. And I don't know if you guys remember when we had the beads, back in the day when it was braided hair.
Yeah.
And Mom would put those beads on that hair, and it was like boom, boom. And so I think I knew then. And she dressed me in this beautiful little dress. And like we always talk about, me and my mom always talk about that dress. And I think I just knew then that I wanted to model. I used to see the beauty pageants on TV, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. And my mom used to tell me, well, you can't do it here in this little small town. And so I think then, wanting to be in the pageants, and I think at that time, it was instilled in me then. And then later in life, of course, I did fashion shows. And I think that's when it really hit that this is me. This is what I love to do. It came so natural. So I think it just hit then when I started doing fashion shows in college. And I start directing fashion shows in college. And the creativity just kicked in. I came up with different scenes and the clothes that we were going to wear in the scenes and the models that I wanted in every scene. And I created 2-hour fashion shows. And I would look back at them. I was like, wow, I did that, And I think that's really when it hit at that point.
All right, Dr. Rona, what's your question?
Oh, right. Great answers, Dee.
Yeah,
Well,
questions.
first of all, I'm ready for my workout when we finish. That's first and foremost. So she gonna be cute right now, but she can ready to put me to work, and I'm ready. But my question is, clients reach a plateau when they're working out. And when they reach this plateau, they lose motivation. And they're like, oh, I'm looking good. Oh, this is great. I want to know, what do you do, or how do you keep that client on track as far as staying motivated to stay in the gym, to keep what they have? Not only as a workout regimen, but and be comfortable with the lifestyle change. And just it's a part of your life, not to look good, but also to be healthy.
Great question. So from the start, I have that conversation with them. I already let them know how it's gonna go. So that's a lot. It's trying to reconnect us. Did it put us back in there? Okay, it got us. You're gonna hit a plateau, and I already have a plan for that. Like, I plan ahead, and I have that conversation with my clients so they can already know. But of course, they're gonna come back and ask. I already have a plan for that, and so that helps them to think ahead as well. And also, when you first get started, of course, it's always about, if the scale is going to move, and D, I don't see this, and D, I don't see that. But I always say that once you plant that seed, you cannot stand there and wait till the flower blooms. Because you just stand there and look at it, it's not going to bloom right then. It takes time. It takes time. So I always teach that. And first and foremost, is your health, is your overall health and wellness. And if you enjoy what you're doing and you're consistent in what you do, you will see that change. But don't just stand there and wait for that flower to bloom. You plant that seed, you water it, it will grow. So if you apply the principles, apply everything that I give to you, like I always say, I don't know everything, but I know a lot. And I know a lot through experience. I know a lot through studying. I know a lot through the testing that I have taken over the years. And so that's how I pretty much explain that to them. Now, everybody might not be mentally strong enough to go through the entire process, Right. They might stop. They might quit. Everybody is not that mentally strong, but I have to kind of step in and be that strength for them. You know what I'm saying? And that could be a bit challenging at times, because just like you say, some people might leave, or some people might stop, and then they might just rethink it and start back and come back. People go through things, and I have to be receptive to that, and I have to have empathy, and understand, because, it's like not always easy, and I understand that. And so the main thing is to have that talk at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's it. Have that talk at the beginning so they can look forward to it, so they can know what to expect down the road. Right. We all hit plateaus. That's not uncommon, right? Not uncommon at all. So.
Can I add a little bit about that? Mm-hmm. And also, one of the things that Dee does is she listens. She's listening when you think she's not listening. and that was my experience. So, you can't mention a lot around her while you're working out. I mean, I've been so satisfied with the results that I've gotten from Dee, which is just to stay healthy and energetic. And I know once I just mentioned to her that, well, I haven't been a certain weight in 20 years. I wasn't complaining. I was just saying that. And time went on. I'm like, she has changed my workout. I'm coming in there like, but I don't complain.
I gotta start calling out names.
I don't complain, but I'm just thinking to myself, she's changing my workouts, and then after that, I started seeing results in a different way. But it was just chatter with her.
Horace, hey Horace. I'm sorry I missed y'all names. I should have worn my glasses. So I want to call out my people.
We've got this. I got my phone here so she can see. So when you pop up, when you share, because don't forget to share, we're going to make sure she gives you a shout out and thank you for being here. So Dee, I have a question.
Yes.
My question is this. We live in this world of social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you have a lot of people who are popping up and like I said before, no shade. I want to make that clear. But how have you stayed relevant in an industry that has evolved and changed? And let's just be honest, there are some people who are out here who may not have the experience that you have and the training that you have, but they're very popular on social media. How have you remained relevant in this industry?
Oh, wow. Great question. So I am unique. This is something that I do effortlessly. I've been doing it my whole life. And I do it because this is what I do. Like, this is just me. No matter, I do benefits advising, that's my other career as well. But my passion is health and fitness. That's just what it is. And I think that's why I stay relevant. This is seriously what I do. And I know a lot of people say, oh, you make it look easy, or, how can you smile through it all? Yes, I smile because I'm able to just inspire so many people, and it's growing. You gotta smile from that. You gotta smile. And, I feel great. I was excited to turn 50. It was like, wow, I'm 50. This is great. Like,
Yeah, she is 50 in real life.
Wow. How can you not love it? And I'm creative. I like to be creative in what I do. I like to do me. You know what I'm saying? And yes, it is a lot of people who are, I guess you could say, fitness influencers. But I just think that I'm very unique in what I do, because this is truly a passion. I don't do it because somebody else doing it. I do it because I've always done it. It's just always been a part of me. And I think one thing I would say that makes me unique is I have had, trainers. I have had coaches. I've had some of the best. The trainer has been trained. You know what I'm saying? The coach has been coached. I have been mentored. I have been preached to. In the whole nine. So, and I do believe that has added to my greatness. And I'm constantly growing. I constantly learn, and I think that's what makes you better. You never know it all. You always can learn better. But I've had great mentors, and I've had great coaches in my life, and like I say, it's just my uniqueness. I don't know, whatever else to add to that.
I want to interject. I got something to add to that.
Sure.
Let me tell you about the uniqueness. This is a virus.
In the best possible
And when I say this is a virus and it's contagious, she makes you want to work out.
That's right.
I'm going to tell you, my workout normally is 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because my schedule is crazy. But because she has become so contagious, I've changed my workout. I'm like, I got to be there with Dee at 8:30 Saturday. So I'm getting up and changing my life so I can be with the virus, because she makes you want to get it on. I mean, she's ready. When you walk in the door, she's like, "Hey, Rona, let's get it." I'm like, "Okay, let's get it." She's a live, healthy virus, the one that you want. That's the virus you want.
I like that.
You want to catch it.
So if you are just joining us,
Yes.
it's important to know what we're doing. So this is deep in the details. Of course, it's Deandera Washington. You get it? Deep, D-E-E, details, D-E-E. We're here with a panel talking about this coach, this professional. Who is this? This is she. She is who we're talking about. In this episode, she's got a group of her actual clients. All of us are her clients. I have known her forever, but I'm the newest because I'm the new kid back on the block. But we are here to talk about what she does and introducing you to her, because I know a lot of you all see her on social media. You see her reels, and I even have friends who see her reels and are like, "How does she smile the entire time?" And I say to them, she smiles in real life. When we are training, when we are working, this smile is for real.
Yeah.
This $1 million smile is for real. It is consistent and constant. Even when you are like, "D, please don't do anything else. Don't show me on the plate. Don't put me on the treadmill. Do not take me outside." When she smiles, all you can do is say, "Okay." And don't let her smile and then give her singing, her beat, and it's nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah, and then she starts dancing. That's right.
But to do it. But we're asking her some questions about her, what she does. So don't be shy. Ask some questions. I see some folks. I see my cousin on. I see my friend Lisa on. Ask questions, because I know I got a question. But this time we're going to go this way.
Give us questions.
Give us some questions.
I know y'all have some questions.
This is one of those deep questions. So guys, if you're on, you need to listen to this. The question is really about women, but you need to know this because you got women in your life, and you need to know it, for your own safety. And it'll make sense once I ask the question. For your own safety. The question is, we are all women of a certain age, and although there's a time for when that certain age happens, some people are going through that change earlier. What do you say, or what advice do you give, and how do you help train us? Because we're going through that change. And that change is, I sometimes call it men on pause, but it's menopause.
Men on pause. We need to hit the play button.
What are some of the things, because as women, we go through these different changes in life anyway, but that's a change that comes with a lot of symptoms, a lot of, night sweats, and a lot of things that sometimes will impact how we feel emotionally, how we feel physically, and may impact our workout. What's some advice, and what are some of the things that you have done for us to help us get through that process?
Oh, that's a great question. And that's going to be a whole nother live.
Yes.
Because we're going to really dig into that really deep. Because I do, like I say, women, our bodies, we go through a lot. So, so when I do get a client, every woman is different. They go through different, every individual is different, I would say. And some women may have certain symptoms and some don't. So I kind of have to go through it individually, That's the other way when I was saying, I have to sit down with that person and see what's going on. And then once I see what's going on, I kind of go from there. So I don't come in with your plan already written. That's just not how I do it. Because I have to ask you questions about you, your lifestyle. Do you have any children? Are you married? How long have you been active? So those different things I have to ask first. Once I get that information, and then I go from there, right? But the key to it is, because we're all gonna go through those different changes. But how you take care of your body, through what you're putting in your body, the foods that you eat is so important. The foods that you eat, can I say that again? The foods that you eat, okay? And you know, the liquids that you put in your body as well. I say liquids. And beverages, you know, like I said, we'll get into all that because that's really deep. So I ask all those questions and then I go from there. Like I say, we can't avoid the change, but what we can do is lessen the symptoms.
But what we will do is tell you about it more on
Yes.
another
Yes,
episode.
we'll definitely dig into that. And what you call it? What you call it?
Men
Men?
on pause. So guys, when we have that episode, make sure you're watching because it impacts men as well. So
Yes.
let's not forget that.
Yes.
So I asked my question. Now we're going this way.
All
You
right.
next.
All right. Just want to remind you that after this episode, Dee and I are going to hit the gym. I'm ready for her. She's always showing me something different.
Yes.
That's what makes it so cool.
Yes.
I think I'm all that, but she's like, I got something for you. I'm like, okay. But she touched on food. I want to say this, and then I'll ask. Dee, you don't even probably have not thought of yourself as a healthcare provider, but you're a healthcare provider. You're a physician.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to go to medical school to attain what you have. You are constantly motivating health. It's not all about looking good because you can look good and be the sickest person in the world.
Yes.
Correct.
So she is your healthcare provider. Food, we know it is a weakness for everyone. Beverages, we know it's a weakness for everyone. What things do you put in place to try to help steer that person down the right road or track? You tell them, don't eat this, don't eat that. But when you take things away from individuals, it creates a level of depression. It's like taking a toy away from a child. But what approach do you give individuals so that you're just not totally taking away the toy, but gradually taking them down or what have you?
Right.
It's the food beverage thing. I know it's going to be another episode, but can you touch on that a little bit?
Okay.
Because that's everyone's illness.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, because we love to eat. I mean, you know, that's what it is. But what I do is, of course, the first thing I have them write down, I tell them, write down what you eat. Now, don't write down what you just ate like 3 days ago because you knew you was coming to see me. I had a salad. It's an oatmeal, you know. No, you ain't been eating that. So I write down exactly what you eat. If you don't eat breakfast, let me know you don't eat it. Like, write down exactly what you eat throughout the day because I have to go from there. Write down everything that you like, write down what you're allergic to, write down the things that you don't like. And when you give me that information, I go from there because you're right. I'm not going to just take stuff from you. I don't do the strict diet. I don't do that because I know what happens after the fact. And now that's what you want to do. That's fine. But I always teach, you know, learning how to eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So just say, for instance, if you, I'm just give you an example. If you like Lay's potato chips, right? We know that's processed, correct? So I'll just flip it and say, hey, well, we're going to do these chips. These are natural. These are organic. These are natural. So the only ingredients you have in there is potatoes and salt. Boom, that's it. You know? Because there's less ingredients that your body got to break down, right? So we'll do that. And then we'll control the portions, all right? And so after a while, you know, we'll start making those type of changes, those small changes, right? And then once we get to a certain point, then we change that again, right? So there are small changes. You don't just want to just go cold turkey and just say, oh, tomorrow I'm going to be this. Tomorrow I'm going to do this. Tomorrow I'm going to cut this out. That is setting you up for failure.
Yes.
You know, and I've seen that so much. Do not set yourself up for failure. Take it one day at a time. You know, if you drink sodas, you know, if you drink 5 sodas every day, You know, start the next day. Okay, I'm only gonna do 3 today, and then the rest of the day I'm just drinking water. You know what I'm saying? You know, make small changes. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Very
because,
key.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because what you don't want to do is just drop a bunch of weight, and then you go back to what you were doing before, and then that weight comes back, and then some more comes back that you didn't know you had. You know, I've seen it. I have seen it. I've seen it because everybody just wants to lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. But it's so much more, because when you're losing weight, what type of weight are you wanting to lose? Do you want to lose fat, or do you want to lose muscle? Do you want to stay toned, or do you want to just be a smaller version of what you were? It's almost like I give this, and I'm going to get to preaching, but I'm not preaching.
Reverend Washington.
What you do? You know, it's
She does preach.
if you ever been on,
And she has such a charming way to go about it.
if you ever been on a cruise ship, I'm gonna just give this an example. They have a big block of ice, correct? And they're gonna make this beautiful sculpture. Okay,
Right.
You do not see them holding a blowtorch to make that sculpture.
No.
Okay, what do? They have a chisel.
Yes.
And it takes time. And they chisel it out into the sculpture that they want.
Yes,
And it takes time, right? And then you have this beautiful sculpture. But if you took a blowtorch, it would take maybe a few minutes,
Exactly.
couple of seconds to, but then it's just a smaller block of ice than what it was before, correct? So that's what happens when you do this quick weight loss. It's just a smaller version of what you were. You don't have any shape, no form. You look unhealthy. Okay? And so we want to do it right. And I always teach, because you don't want to just slow down. Take your time. I always hear, I got to get this weight off. I got to get this weight off. Take your time. It will happen. Your health is first and foremost. Because what you don't want to go and you lose all this weight, and then when you start to back to eating what you ate before because you didn't change your habits, it just comes back. And now you're worse off because it's going to be even harder to get off. Yeah. Okay? Now I'm going all the way into it right there. So we're going to come back.
Can I just make
because
one teeny comment?
nutrition is so important.
One thing I've learned from Dee is to eat more frequently. Right. And that was, I know, the mistake that a lot of my friends made. They're like, I'm just eating a salad a day. But she taught me how to eat multiple small meals of things that I like and that are good for me. And that keeps your metabolism going. And that makes all people say, you just been the same size as I'm telling you, because Dee taught me how to eat.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's so important, and that takes time. I think, because we were raised a certain way. Like I was raised, I'm a country girl. So I, when I would say like the early 2000s was my first time I had broccoli. Like, that's weird, right? Because I wasn't raised with broccoli. I was raised with green beans and collard greens and, the garden food, and which was not bad, but it was how we cooked it, right? So I had to totally, restructure my way of eating because that's how I was raised. So I had to change a lot of stuff, especially when I wanted to compete. And I started competing, 2002? And I had to totally rearrange my nutrition, totally. And so just from those years of just learning nutrition, I was like, okay, I got to get this. Because in order for me to see change and in order for me to help my people, I got to get this down pat. Because nutrition is so important. Of course, your workouts are important too. But if I don't put a sound nutrition plan into your workout, we're not going to see it happen like I want to see it happen.
So since this is deep in the details, we're talking about food. Tell us, what's some of your favorite foods and like your favorite restaurant? We know she cooks often, but what's your favorite food and your favorite, if you want to splurge?
Oh, if I want to splurge.
And what's your favorite restaurant?
Oh, if I want to splurge, like my cheat, let me tell you something. French fries. That's like French fries. Like, when I used to compete, all I wanted was just whenever we would go out after the show, I just wanted French fries. Don't put anything else on my plate. I just wanted French fries. And I don't know, I think that was a childhood favorite of mine. And so I only have them now because, my body don't metabolize that stuff like it used to back. So I only have them now. Maybe it's been a while. So once every few months or so. But I do allow myself a little bit of something different. But like you say, as you get older, it's like certain things you gotta just. Yeah, you gotta be careful with, and So, but I would just say that is my favorite splurge. Now, my favorite, healthy meal. Let's see. I love salmon and broccoli. And of course fruit. I love fruit. So I definitely eat healthy. I have to because I can't have the energy to go throughout my day. I have the energy to do one job in the early part of the day and then do the other job the second part of the day. And I have to have energy. I have to have energy for my people, and I have to have energy for myself. And so it's important, what I put in my body. And of course, multivitamins, supplements, and different things like that are, natural.
I see more people have joined. Y'all say
Hey,
hello.
good
Just
morning.
Good
morning.
Good morning. Make sure y'all drop some comments. Say hello. Tell us who you are. Because not all the names are showing up. So you tell us who you are. Say hello.
Yes.
We're going to make sure we try to say hello back. This is Deep in the Details with Deandera Washington.
Y'all come on in.
Fitness coach, fitness professional, health and wellness professional. So we're asking her some questions to get to know her. The next question, Dr. G, you ready for your next question?
So let's get deep into detail. What insecurities have you experienced during your 20-year fitness career?
Okay, insecurities as far as
body insecurities, health insecurities.
my body.
Well, we know you got a great body,
No
but
such thing.
even the most beautiful people.
Okay,
That's right.
that is a great question because when I was competing, before I didn't have that, but when I started competing, it came about then. Because when you're competing, you're judged. So after I would do a show, of course, I would go to the judges and say, hey, what do I need to do to get better? I always want to be better. No matter whether you win or you don't win, you always want to be better, because you just won for that show. You don't know what's going to, who you're going to go up against for the next show. So I would say, hey, Miss Pat, how are you? So that brought about my little bit of insecurity because I was just also confident before the competition, and then I've always been humble, but it really just humbled me. And I was like, okay, what do I need to do to get better? So I think that I had insecurities about my hips, and my hips are genetic. And I had to learn that later on. Like, I can't. They was like, you got to bring your hips down. You got to bring. And I was like, well, like I got these from my mama. So I don't know. Y'all did some of the hip raises. And this is why I have so many different creative movements. I had to do so many different movements to try to get my hips down, to bring this up, to pull this in, to take this out. It's like. So yeah, I think that was the insecurity. That was the area, on my hips, because when I competed, it would throw my symmetry off. And those of you who are on here that have competed or that want to compete, for me, for figure, that's what I had to do. So I had to really, really get lean, because I'm short. I'm about 5'2", so. I had to get really, really lean so that when I'm on stage, it wouldn't throw off. The curves are nice when you're not on stage, but when I was on, so I had to learn that, right? But years into it, I was like, well, this is me. I can't remove them. I can just, I can just make them leaner. And so that's why I had to really, really be strict with my nutrition. I had to stay on point. There was no cheating. I had to be consistent. I had to be disciplined. And I learned to accept that later on and just appreciate me and my body and just love me. You know, I go back to the word, my uniqueness, you know. And so, yeah, so that was definitely one of those areas.
Thank you for sharing that.
All right, Kirsten, we got a couple more people.
Hey, Tracy. Is that Tracy?
Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
Hello.
Hey, Tracy.
So, Kirsten, what's your question for Dee?
So I'm going to take us in a little bit of a different direction. You've heard a lot of great success stories. My own story, I feel like I've been battling the same 15 pounds over and over. And you and I've had a lot of discussions about that. I will say, strength-wise, I'm in the best shape I've ever been, thanks to you. I have never had upper body strength in my life, even though I was a gymnast and a dancer and all of that. But now I actually have that. I have here muscle definition on the back of my arm. Sorry, they're nowhere near as nice as hers. But I've had some setbacks in our 3.5 years. We worked through some. And lately, it's gone in the opposite direction. And you and I joke, right? Belly be gone, and yet it won't. What advice do you have? Like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, right? So it's not always just a linear success story. It's often, you know, you go through all kinds of stuff, and that's where I am.
I would say, you know, like you said, when we had this talk, don't stress about it. Because stress, what does stress do? Builds up cortisol. And where does that go? Right to the tummy, you know? And you can't stress about it. Like I say, our body is gonna hit those changes. It's gonna hit those changes. And all we can do is keep pushing forward. Keep doing what you're doing. If you're doing right, continue to do right. You know, don't think I haven't hit those. You know I hit those. Oh, we gotta get into that part, okay? Let's get into there. Yeah, you know, and understand that you have to embrace that change. And that's to all my women. You know, it's like, Dee, why can't I get rid of this midsection because I'm going through the, you know, the change. And yeah, it is going to happen. Unfortunately, it happens to most of us. You know, and I always just say that because I'm, you know, I'm not a doctor, but I have had that experience with myself. I have dealt with other women that have gone through that as well, and I have seen them get over that hump. And you will get over that hump, but you cannot stress yourself because that's going to push you back, okay? And you just have to embrace it. You love your workouts, love them. Keep going, you know. When you want that extra piece of chocolate, don't get it, you know, this time. You know, not to say that we can't treat ourselves. Don't get me wrong, because you can. I teach balance. There's always about balance. But sometimes, you know, we have to be strong and we have to practice discipline so we can get over that hump, okay? And I think that's very important. And you'll get there, and then once you get over that hump, you're gonna be like, oh man, yes, we did it, I did it. You know, it was difficult, but I did it, you know. I displayed discipline, and I did it. Okay?
Good advice. Thank you.
So some of you may be a little shy to ask some questions, so that's why we're here. And if you're just joining, you are watching this first episode of Deep in the Details with Deandera Washington. She is all of our coach. She's our fitness coach. We got some new people joining. I see some of my family and friends who joined. Thank you all for watching and supporting. And we are talking about Dee. We're getting to know her since this is the first episode, and we know you're going to be coming back for more because we're going to do this every month. We want you to know who she is, and what better way than actually having people who work with her on a regular basis. Each one of us are her clients, and we're at different stages in life. We've known her for different amounts of years, but we can all agree on the same thing, that we have someone who is in our life, and we're fortunate enough to have someone in our life who is a coach, who is a motivator, who is always smiling. always smiling. But we wanted to have an opportunity for you to get to know her. So if you have questions, make sure you ask us questions and put them in the chat so we can answer those questions, because we got about 10 minutes left. So these next 10 minutes, we want to give you an opportunity. And don't forget, although we got 10 minutes left, you can still share. And then let me say this as well. You can watch the replay and share the replay, because there are some nuggets of information here on this episode that you definitely need to know about. Because not only have we got to know Dee, we've got to know things that motivate her. So we got someone else. Hey, Felicia. Felicia's one of my great friends who we've talked about fitness goals and our health journeys. Because we got to remember, our health is our wealth.
That's right.
We see so many people who may not have lived as long as they could have because they did not take their wealth and make it a priority. And so take their health and make that a priority for them. So Dee, when it comes to just daily exercise and daily motivation, what do you do to keep you pumped? What is that? We talked about the spiritual side, but what are some of the things that you do? We know that you like going outside. Sometimes going outside can be tough.
Yes, it is.
When you go with Dee, before you know it, you're like, I remember the last time we went outside, I said, oh, it's already been 30 minutes. I feel like she has this charming, cunning way. But what are just some of the things you do in your personal life outside of this, outside of what you do as a fitness and health coach? What are some of the things that just make you happy? What are the things that motivate you? Because we need to get to know you. What are some of your, you know how Oprah has her favorite things? Yes. What are some of Dee's favorite things?
Oh gosh, I'm a homebody. And I need to get out more. But I love bowling, I love adventure stuff. Like I love outdoor stuff. I love sightseeing. I love stuff like that. I love to travel. So hopefully I'll get to travel a little bit more. I haven't traveled quite that much in the past few years, but I love that. I love outdoor stuff, like fun stuff. Sports. I love sports. I'm a sports fan,
Yes, she is.
I'm a LeBron fan. That's it. But I do. I love sports. I recently got into golf, like about 5-6 years ago. So I love watching golf. I can sit there and watch golf the entire weekend. So that's something, So that's something new for me. So I enjoy sports and stuff like that. But I think bowling is one of my favorites out of all those.
And dancing.
Yes. Oh, and dance. I'm glad you said. How can I forget that? I can dance like every day. Like I can dance right now. Without the music. I ain't breaking down right.
That's right.
So I'm telling you, really, my hobby was when I taught aerobics classes like that. Like they hands down. Like if I could, teach again, that would just be awesome. I would probably hurt myself if I taught class again, because I haven't taught it so long. But I do plan on I'll keep you guys posted on that.
I strongly disagree, because I promise you she would not hurt herself. No. If the Energizer Bunny were a person, this is it. Indeed.
But I think I'll be so excited to teach again, to the point where I'll say class starts at 6. There is no end time. I'll just end when I'm tired.
Oh, God. That means we're going to be there a long time.
Let me tell you something. One thing I can say, and because at some point we've all worked out together with Dee. She isn't one of those people who just tells you what to do. Literally, she does it. And then I'm like, okay, you are working out with me. And it's not just like a coach that's just barking orders. It's, I'm going to get in here with you. I'm going to show you, although she does make it look like she's like a swan. Everything just goes out perfectly. She gets in there with you, so you don't feel like somebody's just giving you orders, and then she'll count, because I forget how to count. And then she'll breathe for you as well.
I'll put the clock on. They don't like the clock.
No. Felicia said, let's dance. Let's get
Y'all trying to start something. Maybe
on another another episode. She's gonna dance. We've got
Y'all
Trace
want me to
Little
dance?
join, James join.
Now, if
Hey.
I tell you what, if y'all put, let me see, since I'm 50, if y'all put 50 in the chat, look, put 50 in the chat, if I get like 10 of those, I might give y'all a little day. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's entertainment, it's free. But yes, you know, also I love to cook. I didn't throw that in there, but I love to cook. I don't ever have a favorite restaurant because I you know, it's rare that I eat out, but I do like to go when I do eat out. I always look at the reviews before I go because I'll be upset if I get there and the food is not good. Because I'll be like, man, I could have cooked this at home. You know what I'm saying? But I, you know, I would say I do love to cook. I do. I cook. I have to cook every day because my food is natural. It's fresh, you know. And sometimes, you know, I could do leftovers, like if I cook more. But I do like to cook. And
I'm suggesting on one of the episodes that we go to the grocery store with Dee.
Oh
Yes.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
We cook.
Oh,
with Dee.
and I won't even tell you the name of it. There's a name to that. So when we go to the grocery store, it's gonna be somewhere. I call it stove, not
Store.
store.
All right, we got some 50s. We got
Okay.
some 50s.
Oh, y'all
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Leave it comments so we can get it.
Hey, Tracelyn joined us.
Wait a minute, how many we got? We got
some
1, 2,
50s.
3.
Come on, we
y'all
need
playing.
7 more.
Y'all playing. I'm gonna move the tables. Y'all want me to get on the table? No, let me stop.
So we got about 4 minutes left. Don't
All right,
forget, put your comments in. Make sure you get this opportunity to ask
No.
questions. But if you don't ask today, we're going to do this on a regular because there's going to be some different episodes that are going to cover the topics that you want to cover. If there are some topics that you even think about that you would like to know from Dee, put those topics here in the comments. We're going to make sure we write those down, have those. And those may be some of the other episodes that we have when we are deep in the details with Dee Washington. She got
Tracy,
those
I'm gonna
50.
call out Tracy. Hey Tracy, Elaine, Felicia, James, Dean. Hey guys. Hey. Tracy, is that Tracelyn?
Mhm,
Okay. Hey Tracelyn. Hey everybody.
Hey y'all.
Hey Felicia. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you guys, and throw your hearts up. Mash your little heart button on there. Thank you so much. And also, guys, if you see down at the bottom, there is a badge there. If you would like to become a supporter of my page, you could just click on that badge, that green badge. And I believe it's set at, $1.99 a month, and you can become a supporter on my page. And eventually we'll do some exclusive, excuse me, we'll do some exclusive events, you know, on my page once the supportership grows there. Also, I don't see the stars yet, but you can, like, once the live goes off, you can send stars if you like. Stars are just like little tips or whatever. So you can also do that. Thank you guys for sharing the live. You never know if you share this with a friend, how it might help them. You know, because people do need help in this arena, you know, and there's so many different topics that we'll talk about. You know, being that I've done this, half my life, you know, every question is welcomed. So don't feel, you know, that you can't ask me. I welcome questions. I'm looking for, oh, awesome. Thank you. I'm looking forward to future episodes. Thank you so much,
Awesome.
Elaine.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your morning to watch and join us. And this is kind of how I wanted to, you know, come and introduce myself, because you guys see me, you know, on my reels. I'm, you know, doing my workouts. And to me, and what I want you to see too with my reels, and they're short because, you know, they're reels and they must be short. But one thing I always like to, I guess you would say, show in my reels is form. To me, form is everything. And so you will see that, you will see the form. I like to show you the muscle group that I'm working. You gotta see what I'm working to.
Yes.
Know what I'm working.
Absolutely.
And sometimes even if I'm working back, you might see, my legs. You be like, wait a minute, is this a leg movement or back movement? But that's just the time that I put in. To work on my body. And I knew that if I was going to start displaying myself in this way, I needed to be open and transparent to you guys, because I so just want to inspire so many people to, take good care of yourselves. Don't be so hard on yourselves. There is no, I guess I won't say easy, but there are no shortcuts.
Yes,
and I also wanted to bring, because I used to do videos a lot, but I was at a facility at the time. I was managing fitness. And see, we've totally not added any of that because I've managed several fitness centers, right? And I've co-owned one as well that I ran. I taught classes. I've done it all. So I've been doing videos for years. But I always used to highlight my people, my clients. It was always about them. And it's like, no, D, well, you got to highlight you, and I get it, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why I really just wanted to highlight that, because I had been seeing things that kind of made me uncomfortable, because it leads people the wrong way. And so one thing you see about my reels is I want to inspire you. Right. I want to motivate you. Right. I might even just entertain you. But you get the positivity out of it. But what you're not going to get from me is a cookie cutter type of response, or you're not going to get me telling you, hey, if you want to do this, because I know it takes more than that. Right. And so I just basically just wanted to share that energy with you, that excitement with you, my passion with you. And hopefully you can learn something, from my reels, because I want to teach you how to do the movement as well. So that's why the form is just excellent, because form is everything to me, because if you don't do it right, you don't do it. Right. And that's what I always say, right? And so now these are just the shorts. Now my long video form will be, of course, on my YouTube page. And so my YouTube page is fairly new, I would say. I still have a lot of content over there, but it's fairly new. So we're growing that. So some topics that we get into, they're going to be really, really deep. We won't probably be able to do them on Facebook because we're going to go deep. So some of those topics will be on my YouTube live. We'll do YouTube lives for those. And now in the near future, my workout videos will be a little bit longer. So I will definitely go into the 10-minute mode, the 20-minute mode, for 30-minute mode for my advanced, my people that are advanced in their fitness.
I'm ready.
Because everybody, let's just see,
we're ready.
Always.
That's right. I have people from all over the world, people in different states. I've met people through social media that may live in Philadelphia. I think my top followers are in New York. So there's people all over this country so far. I think I have maybe a few international viewers as well, that want to, that needs to get, in shape, and they need that motivation. And so that's where we're at. My YouTube will come into play as well.
So you all get ready. We got a comment that says your passion from Felicia. She said your passion is shining through.
Oh, thank you.
Get ready for more from Dee, where we go deep into the details. We've been her special guest panelist today. This has been an honor and a joy, and certainly a pleasure to be here. So we're going to end with Dee.
I want to say one more thing. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Because I know I'm going to miss something. And I was like, oh, man, I should have said that. But first, I want to say thank you to my top fans. They have badges by their names that say top fans. Because they engage with me on a daily. And I just want to say just thank you. I just thank you to the people that follow me. You like, my content, my reels, my happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday posted, because every day is a new day. Every day is a beautiful day. Every day we got to be thankful that we're able to see this new day. Whether it's raining, snowing, whether the sun is out, it's a beautiful day. And I just want to say thank you guys for always engaging with my content, always commenting. I love your comments, the funny comments, because it brightens everybody's day, not just mine, but everybody else. Because, and so I just want to say thank you, everybody, just, for supporting what I do, for supporting my page. Thank you so much. I can't wait to take this to a whole nother level and wait to hear testimonies and wait to hear, people say, oh, you've helped me. I went through this. That's the overall goal. Like, that's it. This is my passion. This is a talent. No matter how many tests I took, PT tests, no matter how many, times I went to take the CPR test, you have the one. This gotta be a passion with working with people. It is a true passion. It is a talent that I have received. This is what God bestowed in me. And so I have to give this out to the world. I cannot hold on to it. I have to pour out everything that I have, because God gave me this. And I can't keep it to myself. And
yes.
So, this is why.
He blessed you so you can bless other people.
This is why I do the reels. This is why I show you. This is why, that I constantly show up. I show up, consistently. I show up. Consistently, I show up, not just for you guys, but I show up, for my people. I always show up. I can't think of one time that I've called in over 23 years. Not one time that I've called in.
Even when she got hurt.
Even when
today she came straight from the hospital to the gym and trained me. Yes. Unbelievable.
Me
I got out of the car.
I was on schedule that day.
I got to tell y'all this right quick before we go. Right. Okay, transparency moment. Yes, I am a machine. 95% of me is machine. 5% is human. But so I did. I hurt my ankle. And, but I had a whole day of work planned. And so I was like, I gotta go to work. We're gonna, let's do this. Let's get it done. I couldn't walk because my ankle was hurt. And so, but it was funny because I had a few call-ins that day, and I was like, okay, well, I still got a few people left. So some that I had scheduled, they had other things going on. So it kind of just worked itself out. So, but I still had a couple of clients that I had to get in. And so I was like, I'm going to make it. So they got me in, they got my ankle wrapped up, air cast on it and everything. And I was ready to go because I knew everything was going to be all right. And I'll tell you guys that story. That's a whole other story of testimonies. But anyways, they gave me the air cast and they gave me the crutches. Ugh, I hated those things. But I had to have them, right? And so I get out of the car. My client was like, Dee, what in the world? I said, just come on. Don't even worry about it. Just come on, let's work. So no matter. No matter, I push through, I show up, I do what I got to do. I take care of me. Things happen in life. That's just what it is. Things happen. And sometimes we just had to, push through and show up for ourselves and so that we can show up for others. And thank you guys so much for being here again. Thank you for your time. Your time is precious. Your time is valuable. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. And if, like I said, if anybody have any questions, even after this live, when the replayers, when you replay it and you watch it again, if you have any questions for me, please ask. We will be back, let's say next month again with a topic. We'll display what the topic is going to be so you guys can have questions. All right, thank you again and happy Saturday.
This is a warrior.
Yes.
Warrior taking care of her tribe.
Y'all want to dance?
The warrior taking care of her tribe.
No music necessary.
No music necessary.
Thank you all.
pleasure.
Tell us we're
All right,
finished,
guys.
and we'll
Have
see
a great
y'all
Saturday.
later.
Thank you.